company presentations, let's begin with the mining sector. Our first company is Apex Mining, is one of the Philippines' leading gold producers. With gold prices hovering at all-time highs amid global uncertainty, Apex Mining has become one of the best performers in the PSE, rallying over 180% year-to-date. Is Apex Mining more than just a play on gold prices? Is there a deeper growth story here? And ultimately, is there still room for the stock to run? To tell us more about Apex Mining, we have the Senior Vice President, Chief Finance Officer of Apex Mining, and also the company's Treasurer and Compliance Officer. As CFO, he manages all the internal and external finance dealings of Apex Mining and its subsidiaries. He's an invaluable leader of Apex Mining's finance team, having held various positions in the managerial and executive levels since joining the company in 2012. Today, he is at the helm of securing strategic funding and managing the balance sheet of Apex Mining to ensure the company's continued profitability. Let's all give a round of applause for Mr. Billy Torres.
Hey, good morning, Billy. Thank you for joining us in the show today.
Thank you for inviting Apex, and also good morning to our investors.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's begin with the basic, like personally, Apex Mining isn't a stock that I've talked about before, even during the pandemic or before the pandemic. But we kind of noticed that its performance is so strong. And then, when I looked at the Bloomberg, I realized you're a very profitable gold mining company. So that said, maybe you can share with us a background about your operations in Apex.
I have a slide. I'll give some basic information regarding our operations. And yeah, it's true na medyo this year talaga medyo maganda yung naging performance ng company namin. We're operating in Maco, Davao de Oro. So if you're traveling from Davao Airport going to our mine site, it will take you around 2.5 hours by land. So ganun siya kalayo. And currently, yung aming Maco mine, that contributes 90% of our revenue. So dyan nanggagaling yung main revenue namin from the sale of gold and silver. It currently operates at 2,600 to 2,800 tons per day. So ano yung tons per day? Ito yung, di ba, so pag nagmina kami, we have this 1 tonelada ng ore. Then we get around 4 grams, 3 to 4 grams of gold per ore. So we process 2,600 per day yan, ganyan. And then we have the Itogon mine. This is a mining company of our subsidiary, Itogon Suyok Resources Incorporated. We own 100% of the company. Ito naman is located in Benguet. It operates around 400 to 500 tons per day. Ito, nag-start lang ng commercial operation noong 2020. Okay. And yung Itogon Suyok Mines ngayon, nagko-contribute siya ng around 10% of our revenue. So yun yung dalawang main source ng revenue namin, the Apex Mining Maco Mine, and then Itogon Suyok Resources. Yeah. Tapos, we are doing underground mining. So, ito yung we need to do tunnels and follow the veins, yung mga gold veins. This is different from yung iba naman open pit na ang ginagawa naman is yung they get the copper or gold sa ibabaw ng lupa. They just parang extract it. Kami, we do underground, we go deep, sinusundan namin kung saan yung direction ng gold. Ayan. And of course, we have a pool of different experts. We have geologists. Sila yung mga nagmamapa where we can find yung mga gold and minerals. Then we have mining engineers. Sila naman yung mga nag-develop ng mga tunnels and making sure na safe yung aming underground operations. Yan. So, this year, yung Apex Mako, last year, yung Apex Mako processed 899,000 tons at 2,588 tons per day, and it produced 90,000 ounces. While yung Itogon naman namin, nag-process siya ng 148,000 tons and produced 13,132 ounces. Yan ba?
Okay. So, two questions. The first is, syempre ang importante is how long will it last?
Oo.
Ayan.
Meron akong slide na tungkol sa mineral resource namin. So, yung life ng mine, mini-measure siya on the resource that we have dun sa area. Pag sinabi nating resource, ito yung potential na mga nakitang mga gold at minerals doon sa aming tenement. So, in the past years, nagkaroon na ng different studies and lumalabas for yung recent na report namin, which is signed by a competent person, meron kaming 16 million tons na, so di ba sabi ko kanina, nag-process kami ng around 900,000 tons dun sa Mako. So ibig sabihin, we have around more than 10 years to operate. And in the past, pag titignan natin, from 2 million, nagiging 5 million, nagiging 11 million, it depends kasi on the exploration activity na ginagawa. So we do continuous exploration para nadadagdagan yung resource namin. Hindi naman yan yung, kunyari yung 16, hindi yan yung pag naubos mo siya, tapos ka na. Nadadagdagan yung mga resources namin, depende on the makikita ng mga geologists namin through exploration. Yan. So, more than 10 years.
Sir, follow-up lang. Because in mining companies also, di ba, we have resources, you talk about resources, but we also have reserves, right?
Yes.
So, could you explain lang the difference between them?
Yung resources, ito yung mga minerals na makikita, sa loob ng tenement, based on sa coverage na ginawa ng report. Yung reserve naman, ito na yung mga economical na reserve, kumbaga parang, kunyari kasi yung resources, may area na konti lang yung gold na nakalagay. Kapag mininam mo siya, hindi rin siya economical. So, lugi ka din. Pero ang reserve kasi, nandyan na pinapasok na yung element of cost na kapag mininam mo siya, you still get profit. So, yung reserve naman namin, hindi ko lang naisama, pero it's around 9 million tons, yung recent na aming competent person na technical report. So, that means, ganun pa rin, we still have a long way to go. Ang Apex Mining is a 55-year company na, and continuous yung exploration and development activity pa namin para dun sa loob ng aming around 2,600 hectares dun sa Mako Mine. Okay,
so as a recap, kung resource 16 years.
Yes.
And pag-reserve?
Pag-reserve, so 9 million divided by around 1 million, let's say 1 million tons per year. So you still have around 10 years, yeah.
And that's based on the current price of gold? Gold kayo, di ba?
Yes, based on current price of gold, at saka meron kaming silver din. So, ano siya. And yung reserve din, same as resource, usually yung reserve, nanggagaling yan sa resource. Ang reserve kasi, you do further study, you do further drilling, para kapag nakita mo na yung resource pala ay economical, you add it to the reserve. So, continuous din yung aming development, continuous yung aming drilling, para ma-maintain namin or ma-continue namin yung pag-re-report ng aming resource tsaka reserve. Yan.
I see.
Medyo technical lang siya, pero...
Yes, okay yan. Para next time when they read the reports, alam nila and they can differentiate.
Pero that's true. That's a very important number kasi minsan titignan mo siya kung masyado nang maiksi yung resource niya o konti yung resource niya or reserve niya, paano siya hanggang ilang taon na lang siya, ganon.
Yeah. Okay. So, first off, are there plans to increase the production? Or hanggang dyan muna?
Of course. Yung
annual-
Apex Mining, I think since 2020, 2016 onwards, 2013-14, it started at 650. Noong 2006 nga, it started around 500 tons per day, then increasing gradually, 650. And now we reached 2,500 to 2,800. And our previous disclosures, we're targeting to operate at 3,000 tons per day. Our plant is capable of processing 3,000 tons per day. And we are currently exploring pa with the new technology and process improvement if we can further improve yung capacity ng existing plant namin. And on top of that, we have yung Sangilo mine namin is currently at 500 tons per day because it is currently operating at a 35-hectare area muna. Pero we got the APSA. When we say APSA, it's an application of a permit for a certain area again, and we got the consent already and the endorsement of the LGU to proceed para maging MPSA siya, which is, pag MPSA ka na, you have the contract with the government na pwede mo na siyang minahin. So, yung area na yun, that's 400 hectares, and we can expand naman sa Benguet dun sa part na yon. So, we can put up siguro a plant like around 1,000 to 1,500 tons per day in the future. Once ma-perfect na namin yung mga kontrata, tsaka ma-explore and develop na namin yung area.
Yes. So, sir, you mentioned some, because this is very interesting, no? Kasi this could signal the growth for the company, right?
Yeah.
So, all the plans, the plans to potentially increase to 3,000 tons per day for Mako, and also hopefully can further expand the area for the Itogon mine.
That's right.
So, but if ever that pushes through, I mean, just to help everybody here, no? So, how much, I guess, in terms of cost would that intake? Does it entail a lot of like capex if ever na-approve and then you can, in fact, increase nga the production capacity? Malaki bang gastos yan? Or?
Malaki siya. Well, ang good thing kasi is, for example, yung Mako, meron na siyang nakaset up na, I mean, yung areas were already drilled. Meron na kaming existing mga studies and meron na kaming planta. So, it's a matter of expanding yung capacity and, well, probably creating new plant na, of course, it's also a capital-intensive na planta yan. Kailangan mo magkaroon ng, of course, a significant amount depende dun sa capacity. In the past, yung aming planta sa Mako, it started at a certain level, 1,500, tapos every time tinataasan namin yung capacity para din ma-manage yung hindi abrupt yung biglang maglalagay ka ng malaking capex on that. At saka kasi, if you increase the capacity of a mining area, hindi lang kasi yung planta yung tataasan mo ng capacity. Even yung mga tunnel mo, yung kumukuha ng bato dun sa underground ng mga ginto, kailangan din mag-invest ka ng mga heavy equipment, which yung isang truck is worth 20 million pesos, ganyan, napapasok sa underground. So if you want to increase the capacity of the mill, kung saan dinudurog yung bato, kailangan mag-i-invest ka rin sa pag-i-improve mo nung underground mo. So, yeah, it's mataas yung capex niya pero depende sa capacity. Yung ngayon, for example, yung sa Sangilo, kino-compute pa yan, nasa table pa kung magkano yung aabutin ng capex.
Yeah. So, ano na lang, para madaling i-analyze.
Okay.
What is your cost na lang per, kasi di ba per ounce of gold ngayon, nasa
Yes.
3,000 plus. How much is the cost, to produce, syempre, per
So,
ounce?
yes. Iba-iba yan, no? Iba yung cost ng mga nandun sa mga open pit, yung ibang process. Pero on us, underground mining, ang current cash cost namin is at 1,300, pero yung total cost namin is at 1,600 for the Mako mine, and medyo mas mataas dun sa Sangilo, it's around 1,900. So medyo compared to the price of 3,700, profitable talaga siyang operation ngayon.
Oo, but that said, di ba, you're going to do some expansion,
Yeah.
when you do those expansion, will your cost per ounce remain the same or tataas siya?
Habang lumalaki yung capacity ng planta at saka yung tonnage na pinaprocess namin, yung mga fixed cost element nun, mas madami yung nagiging share. So ang tendency niya is lumiliit yung magiging cost per ounces. Ang ano lang, siguro pwede rin siyang tumaas kasi minsan as we go deeper, kumbaga yung dating pinupuntahan namin ng 1 kilometer underground, pag
mahirap na
na kami, pupunta na kami ng 2 kilometers, so it requires additional fuel, additional, yung tires mo mas mabilis na nasisira. So meron ding increase on that part.
I see. So, another thing interesting that happened to you was the acquisition of Asia Alliance
Yeah,
Mining, no? Maybe you can talk more about that and, you know, what are the prospects? It's not yet operational, no?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yung Asia Alliance, pakita ko sa inyo yung mapa. Kung sa tingin ko, isa rin magandang, ayan. Ayun ako, yung naka-quote. Pero yung Asia Alliance, yung nakikita nyo, yung kulay white na mapa, that's a 19,000 hectare property. Yung kulay blue na, ewan ko kung malinaw sa inyo, yung blue tsaka yung isang medyo red, yun yung apex current na MPSA. So, napapalibutan niya yung buong apex area.
That's Asia Alliance?
That's Asia Alliance. So, yung kulay puti na yan. And noong 2023, we bought yung Asia Alliance on the premise because kailangan namin magkaroon ng tailings dam para sa aming existing operation sa Mako. Kasi on that alone, na-justify namin yung pag-acquire. Kasi yung tailings dam, it is a requirement na meron kang pagtatapunan ng mga pinrases mo na mga ore. Ang tailings yung tawag doon, may paglalagyan ka. And yung existing tailings dam namin will last until, I think, next year. So, kailangan talaga namin ng isang area pa pag-create ng bagong tailings dam. And because of the acquisition, nakapag-proceed kami na mag-start doon sa preparation ng susunod na tailings dam namin. Yan. On top of that, ang Asia Alliance is previously operated yung area na yan. Yung specific area na Amakan, operated siya ng isang mining company dati, North Davao Mining Corporation, processing copper. So, merong copper prospect dyan at saka meron ding gold prospect dyan. Ang maganda lang sa amin, since vein type kami, sinusundan namin yung mga veins ng mga ginto based on mapa, yung nakita namin doon sa area namin, definitely may extend namin yon dito sa Asia Alliance. Kumbaga, ang veins naman tuloy-tuloy lang yan eh. Minsan, yung behavior ng vein papunta sa ganitong direction, kaso mapuputol kami kasi hanggang dito lang yung area namin. So, with the acquisition of Asia Alliance, medyo may extend pa namin yung mga nakikita namin na existing veins. Yan.
So another potential area for expansion.
That's
for
right.
Your resources.
Tapos copper.
Oo.
Copper naman yung
And
ano niya.
copper,
At saka meron din siyang gold.
Oo.
Sir, if I may, no? Kasi you mentioned already a lot of potential explorations, di ba? With Mako, meron din. With Itogon, with Asia Alliance, the area. So, typically, but what's the timetable for these exploration projects? I mean, when you say that you're doing exploration, in 2 months ba may result na? Or, and what's the typical, I guess, success rate? I mean, or is it really very difficult to get from exploration to mining?
Yeah. Isa-isa siya. Yung sa Mako, yung existing our capacity going to 3,000, actually may mga times na nare-reach na namin siya. And further going ng additional, depende sa improvement ng process, ongoing yon. Doon naman sa Sangilo, yun nga, we got the consent already kasi ang requirement bago ka maka-operate, of course, you have to get the endorsement of the LGU, which we already have. You have to get the endorsement of the free and prior informed consent of the IPs, kung meron doon, and the community, which we also got. Tapos, kapag nakuha mo na yun, you get a permit with the government agency under Mines and Geosciences Bureau para papakita mo sa kanila kung paano yung magiging exploration activity mo, paano yung development activity mo, and it takes a lot of time. So, yung 2 months na sinabi mo, medyo imposible for the exploration. Even yung development ng tunnel, usually it takes mga 1 to 2 years depending on yung bilis ng permit, yung availability ng funds, and of course yung mga sources din ng materials mo, tsaka mga equipment na gagamitin mo. On Asia Alliance, we did verification of minerals. So kasi before, since na-operate na nga siya, meron na siyang existing na mga study na merong mga copper at saka gold dun sa area. So nag-focus muna kami dun sa copper kasi yun yung operation dati. And meron na siyang mga naiwan. Ito nakapublish naman to. So meron siyang naiwan na around 61 million tons ng copper concentrate or dun sa area na yon. Kailangan naming i-verify yon kasi kailangan i-update yung study. So we did some drilling through the power of authority to verify minerals na permit, and we're done. Tapos na kami doon, ginagawa na lang namin yung pagpa-finalize ng report. And before kasi namin ma-issue yung numbers, it has to be signed by a competent person. Kaya hindi ko muna ma-disclose kung ilan yon. Pero
May timeline ba?
yung sa report, preparation na naman siya. So, lalabas naman yan, hopefully this year.
And then, how long will it take before you can actually
So,
start
if you want, kunyari, okay na siya, then we get the permit, walang na masyado naging problema. We're targeting siguro mga in 2 years time, hopefully makapag-commence na or meron na kaming magawang activity doon.
for copper?
For copper,
And you know, copper prices are a bit depressed right now.
Yeah.
Profitable ba?
Yes,
Kung
doon naman sa initial study namin, okay naman yung, although talagang ongoing pa rin kasi nasa mineral level pa lang, so kinocompute pa lang kung ano yung mga magiging grade. Pero doon sa initial naman, it's profitable. And depende rin yung copper price kasi di pa minsan talagang tumataas siya. Pero ngayon medyo
Depressed.
mababa pa yata.
Yeah, depressed. You know, that said, di ba, speaking of, sabi mo nga, matrabaho to get all the permits and what have you. Just wondering your thoughts about the recently signed Large-Scale Mining Act. Like, how will it affect you? Of course, the taxes, additional taxes, plus, pero mapapadali ba?
Oo. Yun namang sa pagpaprocess ng mga documents, medyo talagang naging supportive naman yung ating government on developing, yung approving yung mga new mines, new area, and yung process naman talaga, they are finding ways para mas mapabilis. Nagkakaroon na ng parallel process. Previously, bago ka makaproceed sa isang step, you have to complete this step. Pero ngayon, meron nang ini-introduce na while doing this step, pwede mo nang gawin itong step na to para mas mapaiksi yung proseso. Pero in terms of yung bagong pinasa na fiscal regime, this is parang medyo focusing on taxes. I have a slide, sa slide 17, yan. At first glance, additional tax siya sa amin because with the RA 12253, eto sinign to nung this month lang, September 6, then, na-publish nung 21. Nag-take effect nung 21. Fresh pa, no? Pero we will still wait for the IRR, which is, they have 150 days to do that bago ma-implement. So, ang feature nito, we get additional royalty. We pay additional royalty. Depende yung royalty. Maganda dito, margin-based siya. Ibig sabihin, so you have the revenue, tanggalin mo yung mga cost mo, and may inintroduce pa siyang mga additional cost na pwedeng ibawas, katulad nung nasa FTAA. And then whatever you get, kunin mo yung percentage, kung pumasok yan ng, let's say, 30% ang iyong income as to your revenue, you pay 1% nun, ganun. So, initial checking, pumapasok kami sa mga 2 to 3%, kasi nga, mataas yung gold price
windfall
ngayon.
profit.
Yes. Sa windfall profit, ganun din yung computation niya. Idadagdag mo lang yung binayad mo royalty tsaka yung binayad mong income tax, mas magiging maliit yung exposure namin. So mga 1% yung nakikita namin on the income from metallic mining. Hindi siya nakabase sa gross revenue. So additional tax din siya. Then dinify na yung ring fencing. Ibig sabihin, katulad ni Apex, we have 2 permits. Operating area, MPSA 234 tsaka 225. With this new law, magre-report kami separately for that. And maganda dito, in-improve niya rin yung LGU share. Dati kasi, ang excise tax, babayaran mo sa national and then they will request national to download yung share nila. Minsan it takes time, mga 2 years, 3 years. With this, kailangan bayaran immediately dun sa LGU. And they also get the 40% of the royalty. So, maganda siya kasi mas nagiging, yung share ng government, mas nagiging favorable yon. At saka dun sa LGU naman, of course, mas magiging happy sila and mas magiging supportive sila dun sa mining.
Sa operations.
Yeah. Pero yun, of course, may additional talagang bayad yan.
Oo. So royalties, again, like 1 to 2%
Yeah,
for
2
you.
to 3%. 2 to 3%.
2 to 3%. And then on the windfall profit.
Around 1%.
Around 1%. Oo. And then ring fencing, if I'm not mistaken, kunyari, lugi yung isang mine nyo, hindi nyo
Yes.
pwedeng i-apply yung loss nun sa kabila. So, kanya-kanya yan.
Babayad ka. Kunyari, sobrang income nito, tapos yung isang area mo is sobrang lugi, pero dahil isang company ka, sa reporting magkasama yan eh. So, with this law, bayaran mo yung tax dito, then dito wala ka sigurong tax kasi lugi ka naman, pero mas malaki yung magiging tax exposure mo doon. Currently, yung operation namin is at MPSA 225, yun yung isang MPSA lang. Yung 234 namin, ongoing pa naman yung exploration activity. So wala pang income generating activity na manggagaling doon. Kailangan pa siyang ma-convert into doon sa operating mine bago siya operating permit. Yan.
Yeah. Charles, you wanted to add?
Yeah, in terms of the risks naman, so we talked about the potential exploration, but in terms of what's the biggest risk now of the company?
Well, isa yung climate change. Yung area kasi namin is yung mga mining area na nakapwesto yan dun sa mga medyo merong geological hazardous area talaga eh. Minsan, by nature, doon nagde-deposito yung mga magagandang minerals. Nasa tabi ng bundok, nasa tabi ng bulkan. So, yung katulad nung sa picture natin sa first photo, yan. Makikita nyo, puro bundok siya. So, may exposure talaga kami sa climate change. Although, ang ginagawa naman namin doon, of course, we do some engineering intervention. Yung mga area na alam namin na prone, na pwedeng bumagsak anytime, ginagawa namin ng mga iba't ibang physically. Ini-improve namin, netting, nilalagyan namin ng mga yung mga intervention, medyo hindi ko lang alam yung specific term. And
Para
we also,
hindi mag-landslide.
para hindi mag-landslide. Tapos, and we also do yung monitoring. Recently, naglagay kami ng Dynaslope. Ito yung bagong technology. Nakikita namin real-time kung gumagalaw yung lupa. Although ito initiative ng LGU, pero we supported that kasi mas importante dun sa mga community. Sa amin kasi, since may mga expert kaming mga geologists, tapos yung mga planta namin nakaposisyon naman sa tamang area, etong mga monitoring devices, tinutulungan din namin yung community para, alam mo yon, meron kaming weather station para nakikita na namin yung darating na weather. At saka, yung coordination with the LGU, tuloy-tuloy yan. Yung support of the community, tuloy-tuloy yan kapag nagkakaroon ng mga medyo malalakas na ulan at landslide. On top of that, of course, yung price risk namin, maganda lang yung gold price ngayon, nasa 3,007. Kanina I-check, it's 3,755. Sobrang taas niya kumpara nung dati, nasa 1,112 lang, siguro mga 6-7 years ago.
Oo. Tapos
So,
yung forex pa.
yung forex pa, oo.
Yeah.
So yun naman.
Even comparing to just last quarter's gold price, it's
Yes.
like 10% higher, right?
Oo.
So
I think nag-report ako nung second quarter, it's only 3,100 eh. So ngayon, meron kaming shipment, share ko lang So we have a shipment and sa tingin ko, mabebenta ko siya ng 3,750. So definitely, mas maganda kaysa
Pero sir, tanong ko lang, baka mamaya naman naka-advance contract na kayo.
hindi. Ang benta namin is spot. Maganda yung mga may ganyan, yung merong mga hedging or advance contract. Pero for now, mas favorable yung spot. Kasi taas siya ng taas. So, na-avail namin yung increase ng gold price. Even yung silver, dati it was only 20 and now it's 40, 41, 45 na yata. Oo. So, yan. Na-avail namin yan.
Oo. So, sir, I just want to ask about, potential fundraising. Because if I'm not mistaken, syempre may mga capex kayo, plus, I think the Asia
Alliance.
Alliance is not yet fully paid.
Yeah.
Oo. So, that said, do you have, say, mga bond issuance, debt, or even equity raising plans?
For now, yung mga funding namin is being sourced, of course, from our internally generated cash flows. Nag-improve yung cash flows namin because of the improvement in revenue. And of course, yung existing loan namin, yung na-mention mo is yung acquisition namin ng Asia Alliance. It's currently on, we are amortizing it for the next 7 years. With this new plan with the Asia Alliance, definitely magkakaroon yan ng combination ng internally generated fund, bank loans, and may potential for debt or equity issuances din. Pero hindi pa kami naka-final dun sa magiging funding. Yeah.
Okay, still being studied.
Still being studied. Tsaka kinukuha pa namin yung magiging total kasi nitong mga projects na to. Pero ang maganda talaga kasi, madaling desisyonan because of the gold price. Tsaka, parang dati nag-aalangan ka because bakit ganito yung gold price, baka konting operation lang. And now talagang 3.7. 3.7.
For now.
Araw-araw ko siyang tinitignan eh. Sobrang passionate ako sa gold price.
Okay. Yeah. So Charles, yun. Yeah. Okay, so since we're almost out of time, I guess siguro na lang for the attendees today, if they're looking at mga mining companies, how would you want to tell them about Apex Mining? I mean, what differentiates it from the other listed mining companies?
Well, Apex is, ngayon pa lang, nasa early stage pa lang siya talaga ng expansion. Siguro, in the past, hindi nyo masyadong naririnig. Nakikita nyo lang si Apex as a ticker symbol or another company that you would want to invest, pero walang masyadong nakikita. Pero now, nakita nyo yung performance, dati piso yung share, ngayon 9.50 na yata. In the past 3 years, we are already declaring dividend. Ang policy
yung iba
namin...
ba nagbabayad ng dividend?
Ha?
Yung ibang mining companies nagbabayad?
Nagbabayad din naman sila. Pero
din.
kami kasi recently lang, tapos may policy din kaming nirelease na 10% of our consolidated net income i-declare namin na dividend. Yun yung nangyari nung 2022. Pero nung 23. Pero nung 24 and 25, nag-decide pa yung board to add another 10%. So, lalo na yung 2025, naging parang 20% of our consolidated net income yung aming dividend. And of course, yung expansion namin and the acquisition of Asia Alliance, napakarami niyang story for, for growth. Tsaka operating mine na kasi talaga kami. Na-avail namin yung increases ng gold price dahil nag-ooperate na kami. And hindi namin kailangan nung tipong mag-start ka pa ngayon. If you start now, sobrang gastos ng pag-i-start sa mine. Ito talagang produce lang ng produce. We have stabilized our operation already. So, as we expand, hopefully kasama namin kayo dun sa expansion activity namin, tsaka yung operating activity namin para naman sabay tayong nakaka-avail ng benefit ng increasing gold price din, tsaka silver price. Yeah. At tsaka meron akong i-add, April.
Sige, please.
Yung yung company din namin holds a mining interest in SE72. Ito yung nandoon sa bandang Reed Bank. So, pakita ko lang sa bandang yan. ang Apex, sabihin ko ng tayo kasi I'm thinking of you're also investing, no? Meron tayong 30% interest dyan sa SE72. So that's 280 kilometers away from the Malampaya and 200 meters away from siguro yung land area ng Palawan. Kaso naka-ano lang siya ngayon, naka-moratorium siya kasi alam naman natin meron ongoing na dispute dyan sa area na yan. Pero hawak natin yung 30% yan. So once mag-operate yan, kapartner natin dyan yung forum, nandyan sila PXP. Yan.
Okay, any other, closing thoughts or, important things that investors need to know about Apex Mining that we weren't able to ask you?
Well, parang nakwento ko na naman lahat, pero ang maganda lang talaga, we are seeing yung gold, ang dami nagpo-forecast ngayon. Before, hindi nila ma-forecast na naaabot ng ganitong price yung gold. Pero ang forecast ng gold ngayon is marami nagsasabi, aabot siya ng 4,000 by end of the year, or 4,500 and 5,000 pa nga yung iba eh. So, perfect timing. Sumusunod yung ating share price ngayon with the gold price. And makikita nyo rin yung production namin is continuously improving. So, yun lang ang aking masasabi. Mukhang yun pa lang magandang basis na for deciding to invest on Apex Mining.
Okay, so with that, thank you very much, Sir Billy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you again, Mr. Billy Torres, for sharing your insights today with us. Again, let's give him a round of applause. Okay, so before we move to our next company, let's hear from Ms. April. What would you like our audience to take away from our session with APX?
Okay, so yeah, I guess the key takeaway is, of course, Apex Mining is a beneficiary of rising gold prices. So if you want, the question is always, okay, gold prices are going up, so how do I capitalize on this? Well, Apex Mining is a good way to do it. And then, but that said, is there anything beyond just gold prices? I guess, that said, we have to monitor updates kasi nga they have other prospects, but right now, still very early stages, the Asia Alliance Mining, no? Yun lang, and diba, copper potentially, but then copper not so exciting. But at least, diba, they have enough resources and reserves, yeah?
I'll just add very quickly lang because we never talked about valuations, no? So I just did annualized, no, the second quarter earnings, added a little bit of premium because of the even higher gold price, no? So I'm based on our estimates, it's roughly currently trading at around 7.5 times PE if we're talking about forward earnings, assuming current gold price. If you compare it to global gold mining companies, it's about 13 times. So a little bit of a discount. Of course, we know a lot of the Philippine companies naman may discount, but that's still good to hear, right? So it's not that extended.
Yeah, so potential upside on the valuation plus yung outcome of the exploration of the other mines.
All right, thank you, Ms. April and Sir Charles, for sharing your perspective.